Good afternoon, everybody. Aigey here, and today I'm going to tell you guys, oh man, this story, oh goodness. I was just sitting down, I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a little me story, a little Aigey story for the day, and tell you guys, fill you in about my life and some of the endeavors that I've been through. Oh my god. Okay, so let's get right into it. I make fun of my friends for not being able to cook, so I guess it's only fair that I tell a story about a day that I fucked up, because what would an Aigey story be without me taking the piss out of myself for once in a lifetime? I just wanted to let you guys know that I love cooking, I love baking, I've been doing it for quite some time, but when I decided that I wanted to start frying stuff, I didn't have some of the most beautiful adventures or endeavors, I guess you could say. I'll never fry a turkey because I think that's probably one of the scariest things that you could ever try to do. But I will make mention that it's not always perfect sometimes when you try to make things happen, and I have definitely made my fair share of mistakes. Like, oh god, there was this one time I tried to make this zucchini bread, and instead of adding a cup of sugar, I added a cup of salt. Oh my god, was it awful. That was probably the worst baking mistake I've ever made. But I'm not even going to tell you about that story. The story I'm going to tell you about is the first time I decided that I was going to fry some fish. You know, I'd made my own barbecue sauce and it was really good. And I was thinking about making barbecue chicken, and I was like, wait a second, why don't I just fry some fish? And so I was like, all right, yeah, that sounds totally cool. Let's try that out. So I got my fish, made my breading for it, got the pan out, got the oil for it, and I was just ready to go. I was cooking with grease, and eventually, you know, I was going to make this thing and it was going to be great. What I made the mistake of was I had the heat up way too high, and we all know that when things are too hot when it comes to cooking in any kind of oil, that things just do not go well. For those of you that have ever done any kind of cooking with oil or tried to deep fry anything, just having your oil too hot is a huge no-no. Just having it at the right temperature is what you need to have it at so it can do its thing and not set your house on fire. But oops-a-daisy, I fucked that shit up, my bad. It happens, you know, whatever. At least we didn't have like one of those fire stoves, because I feel like if we had a gas stove it would just literally exploded, but that didn't happen, so thank god I'm here today, because if I didn't, you know, of course you wouldn't be hearing this story. From there, I had my heat up way too high, and I was like, alright, it's time to put the fish in there. So put the fish in there, it's doing its thing, it's kind of bubbling for a little bit. I'm like, alright, cool, you know, it's all good, you know, it just bubbles, and it didn't stop. It got worse, and it started bubbling hotter and hotter, and things were going crazy, and it was popping and shooting out, and it hit me, it jumped out, it hit me in the arm, and I was like, oh my god, please, no. I was just screaming at it because I didn't want to die, and I felt like I was just going to die. I didn't know that it was a bad idea to throw water into the equation. Oh, damn it. Was I stupid? I decided that it would be a bright idea to just toss some water on there and be like, yeah, you know, water makes fires go down. No, bad. Do never mix cold water with hot oil, because it just gets worse. What you're supposed to do is put flour, and I didn't know that at the time, so I was like, oh my god, ah! Because it just went from, you know, just a kind of scary boiling, just, you know, oil flying everywhere, to a violent, just like, what have you fucking done? You're going to blow your kitchen up because you just wanted to fry some goddamn fish. What happens is the fire alarm goes off, mother comes in and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And she's screaming, and I'm like, because I was trying to hide behind the refrigerator instead of just like, you know, I've accepted my fate, I'm dead, it's over, I'm going to die here. I have died because I wanted to fry fish and I just do not know how, and I fucked up. I literally fucked up. And she just comes in, she grabs some flour, she tosses it in there and removes it from the heat first, because I didn't think of that. I didn't think, oh man, I'm just gonna let it burn here, you know. I didn't think to move it, because at the time I was just so petrified by the fact that I'm going to die. Today is my final moment in this world. And I said to myself, you know what, fuck it, I lived a pretty good life, you know, I've had some pretty great moments in my life. I'm ready to die. I can accept this fate. But she comes over, she saves the day, and she's like, what were you doing? And I was like, I was scared. My life was over. I was going to die because I accidentally blew up the fish in the fryer, and we fucked up. And by we, I mean myself. And she was like, okay, so next time when you have something that's burning out of control when it comes to oil, you have to apply flour to it. So that is the one lesson that I have learned. There's a few lessons that I've learned, but the one that's the most important is when you are cooking with oil and it's getting way too hot, you throw flour on that shit instead of water. That is a bad idea. Do not ever add water to something that you think is burning way too hot. It is a terrible mistake that I made because I didn't know what I was doing. But now that I know, I will know what to do next time in case that situation ever arises. Grab the nearest thing of flour and just dump that shit on there. It'll be fine. Aside from that, we pulled the fish out. and it was pretty good. So my near-death experience of making a fish fry turning into me having some pretty damn good fish, I was happy. I could say to myself that yes, I've successfully fucked up when it comes to making this fish, but at the end of the day, it cooked through just fine. It was delicious, and oh man, oh my god, I'm so happy. I never made fish fry again. That is the moral of the story. It was great. I was very happy with it. But god damn it, did I never do that shit again. And I want to hear about some of your cooking failures. I know that we've all had cooking failures in our lives. I know that we've all fucked up and done stupid things. I would love to hear your story. I know that I tell stories from myself from time to time, but I genuinely like hearing what you guys have. And the stories you told me about the last one when I was talking about my cat was pretty interesting. So I'd like to hear whatever you guys have about cooking. And I know we have all made failures. It's okay. It is okay to admit that you have made a mistake, which is probably one of the best ways to succeeding in life. Because if you're able to humble yourself and be like, you know what, I fucked up, and step back and just be like, all right, cool, let me try and work on that and get better, then 9 times out of 10 you'll probably get better. Or sometimes you just stagnate and it's whatever, but at the end of the day you learn something. I learned that water plus burning oil is bad, which is a huge lesson that I could probably use later in my life at some point. And probably not to hide behind the refrigerator telling myself that my life is over because I fucked up on trying to fry fish. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoy more content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below, like this video, share it with your friends, and have them give me their stories about some time that they fucked up, and I'll probably respond to them. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, peace.